live here. Just got some food from the Buffalo Wild Wings. And it's been a crazy week for me. It has been an absolutely crazy week, a crazy couple days. With that being said, you may have noticed that there hasn't been much Eagles talk from me this week. Again, because of my schedule being as hectic as it is. Also, yesterday, I was in a motorcycle accident. Look, guys, if you're driving cars, please look out on the road for everybody. Guys that ride motorcycles, we only got two wheels to begin with. We're already at a disadvantage. Basically, I was driving on an intersection, and I'm driving down the intersection. Woman forgets to yield the right of way, claims she doesn't see me, and we almost collide if it isn't for my really good braking skills. Even though I knew I was going to go down, it was the only way not to crash into this car. So that's what happened. My knee's pretty messed up right now. I believe I had a concussion. Went to the hospital yesterday into the morning, and it's just been absolutely nuts. So I haven't been able to get to bar 4133 and do my normal Eagles stuff or do my normal Eagles preview. But yeah, I've got some time now, and I figure why not? Let's talk about this football game, guys. Look, this game on the schedule, I always thought could be a win for the Eagles. This is even before the season starts. You know, when you're looking at your schedule and you circle the W's and you circle the L's, I've always thought that to be the case. And I'm going to tell you right off the bat, I'm not going to leave you guys in suspense. I think they can still win this game. And I feel like I've said that every single game this year, with the exception of last week. And then while we're talking about last week, look, the Eagles offense looked really good last week. It also looked really good against Atlanta, and those are bad defenses. So the Eagles can move the ball against bad defenses. Now, the Carolina Panthers have played some really bad offenses. We're talking the New York Jets, the New Orleans Saints, when they played a good offense in Dallas whooped the field with them last week. So I would say the Carolina Panthers defense is middle of the pack. They're going to be without a couple of guys. I think Shaq Thompson's one of the guys that's not going to be playing for them. So I'm expecting Jalen Hurts and the Eagles offense to be able to move the ball in some capacity against this Panthers defense. Now, the Panthers are not good against the run, and that has been a big topic here in Philadelphia. Why the Eagles and Nick Sirianni refused to run the football, even last week against a bad defense. Miles Sanders, what do you have, 7 carries, maybe 13 between the 2 weeks. Gainwell, again, didn't have much. It got to the point where the crowd was chanting run the ball. It's mind-numbing to me, especially where Sirianni came from, Indianapolis. They ran the ball a lot. They're going to have to do it. They're going to have to. I mean, it's not like you have scrubs at running back. I think Gainwell's going to be a star. I think you got a guy, Miles Sanders, who's just waiting to be unleashed. I mean, he's shown anytime this guy gets the ball, it can be a 70-yard touchdown. It could be. This is the kind of guy he is. He's very dynamic. I don't understand why they haven't ran the ball, but they're going to have to tomorrow against this Panthers defense on the road. You look at the Eagles' offense. Jalen Hurts his numbers have been really good. If you look, I think through his 8 starts, I mean his stats are pretty good and match up pretty well with some guys like Pat Mahomes and Tom Brady. And I'm not saying that he's anywhere close to those guys, so don't get me wrong there. But his stats are good. But again, and people are like, well, why don't the Eagle fans, why aren't they going head over heels for this guy with the stats that he has? And my thing is, I think a lot of those numbers are empty. I mean, you look at last week in that fourth quarter. Now, look, the Eagles were only down by 5 in the fourth, but it got to a point where it was way out of hand. I think Jalen, kind of racked up. He obviously got a Greg Ward touchdown there at the end, and he got some garbage time yards. The Dallas game, I mean, most of that was garbage time yards at the end where the team had, the Cowboys had already kind of just said whatever. So, and I can't take that away because you don't know. You'd have to look into every game of every quarterback. So I'm looking at Mr. Miller. What's up? Hey, off topic, but I got something for you. A new song just came out. The Rock Raps. I saw it was with Tech 9, I think, right? The Rock, he can do everything. I was at a Fridays, it's an Applebee's during the summer, and on every table was an advertisement for his vodka. I mean, the guy is just the most successful person in Hollywood, in my opinion. is the Rock. Yeah, the song is great. Um, back to the Panthers. The Panthers offense led by Sam Darnold. Now, Sam Darnold was a absolute, how can I say this, bust, because it was a first round pick by the New York Jets. He was a bust in New York, and it seems like that just happens because the Jets are a bad team. Darnold has played well this year so far. The quarterback that, I think he's got a couple rushing touchdowns. His wide receivers, Robbie Anderson, who really hasn't done much this year, he's waiting to go off. And then DJ Moore, who's just absolutely awesome there. And then, of course, Christian McCaffrey. Now, he practiced this week. On the injury report, it does say doubtful, but you never know. If I'm Christian McCaffrey and I saw that Eagles run defense, I'm doing everything in my power to get ready for that game, because, Chuba Hubbard's going to have a hell of a day against this Eagles defense. And while we're talking about them, the Eagles defense, again, it's just a big week of speculation and a lot of people under fire. Jonathan Gannon apparently getting yelled at by Nick Sirianni. Nick Sirianni apparently went crazy on the defensive staff. And I understand, because 2 weeks in a row, 40 points you're giving up. Now, look, the Cowboys, I hate to say it, but the Cowboys might have the number 1 or 2 offense in the league. Kansas City, you obviously know how explosive they are. But it's just unacceptable, especially when you've got linebackers on the field covering Tyreek Hill in the end zone. It just doesn't make sense. Speaking of linebackers, Eagles linebackers are horrendous. Week 2, I did a video talking about how good they were compared to last year. Eric Wilson, I must have saw that video and just said, fuck it, I don't got to play the rest of the year. Because he just looks so bad. Like, there's got to be another guy they can throw in there. Sean Bradley. There's got to be Davion Taylor, TJ Edwards. Somebody's got to step up. Singleton, I think is a good player. He's a good linebacker, but he's overmatched. He needs help. He definitely needs help. And for Jonathan Gannon, just keep all these linebackers out there and basically tell the media that they're not a dime team. They don't play dime. It's just, when I mean dime, it's extra defensive backs in certain situations. I understand the Eagles' defensive backs, the number 4 and 5, aren't that great, but I think they'd be better covering a guy like Tyreek Hill than a linebacker would. It's just been horrendous. The defensive line, hardly any pressure. At least the Eagles looking better than the Steelers. I haven't paid much attention to the Steelers. No Big Ben's getting some heat down there. But the Steelers are, they got 7 Super Bowls. They can take a couple seasons off every now and then. But the Eagles have a lot of young talent that, again, like you said, needs to tighten up. And this defense is just, and I understand a lot of it's personnel. Like, again, they don't have good linebackers. Darius Slay and Stevie Nelson are okay. After that, what else? What do you have there? I thought their defensive line was going to be a strength. I think this every year, and they punch me in the stomach every single year. Fletcher Cox is not. He's like negative on the stats. He's got. I don't even know if he recorded a stat last game. There's been another game where he didn't. It wasn't Dallas. I think it was San Francisco. He's got to show up, man. It seems like when Brandon Graham got hurt, and Brandon Graham left that defense, everything fell apart. They were good in Atlanta. They were good against San Francisco. And then Dallas and Kansas City. They just absolutely look like a high school defense playing against an all-pro team. And again, the Kansas City offense, you got 3 Hall of Famers, Pat Mahomes, Travis Kelce, and Tyreek Hill. I know that's hard to defend against. Dallas has their guys. So I think it's a little bit of both. I think it's players and coaching. The coaches all offseason said, we're going to put these guys, we're going to play their strengths. We're going to play the players' strengths. Eric Wilson cannot cover Tyreek Hill. You're not, I think it's a little bit of both. Fletcher Cox, if anybody remembers, what was the defensive coordinator under Chip Kelly's name? Last name Davis. He ran a 3-4 at Fletch, was not good in it. He just wasn't. And this is kind of what Gannon has been doing. Gannon saying, we don't have a scheme. Okay, that's great. The Patriots, under Bill Belichick, changed the scheme every week, and it worked, and it was great. You don't have the personnel for that, man. You don't. I think Slay said something on a radio show about, guys players not knowing their positions, like not knowing where to play. Like, this is nuts. And Gannon was something I thought was going to be a strength, because all I heard about was about he was a hot commodity. This is a guy people see as a future head coach, and he's just absolutely shitting the bed. Now, again, I could pump the brakes because it was against two of the best offenses in the league. But man, I really hope, and I hate their defensive philosophy of we're going to take the big plays away and we're going to make you. And somebody said this. I think Singleton said it on the radio, and I can't believe this is a thing. We're going to make you go on 11 play drives, and eventually you'll make a mistake. Like that's the what? What? Where? Huh? You're going to let this. You're going to tire your defense out. You're going to tire yourself out by going 10 or 11 play drives. It's silly. It is so silly to me. Coaches are confused, don't know how to utilize players. Yeah. I mean, but some guys are just going to be shit. I just, like some of the players aren't good. But I get what you're saying. But I just don't understand it, man. I don't get it. The penalties is another thing. They have got to cut out these penalties. The most penalized team in the league. It's just, last week there were some times where they could have stopped the Chiefs, and then somebody jumped off sides or there was a personal foul. I mean, they've got to cut that shit out. They have to. Big news on the Eagles' offensive line. Lane Johnson's still not going to play, dealing with a personal issue. Nobody said what the issue is. I have no idea. We might not ever know. I hope he's back by next game. But what they're going to do is they're keeping Andre Dillard at left tackle, and they're putting Jordan Mailata, who is now back playing at right tackle. I don't know if I like this. I'd rather just sit Dillard's ass on the bench, keep Mailata at left tackle because he is good at left tackle, and put Driscoll, who played pretty damn well at right tackle. I like Jack Driscoll, and that might be the kiss of death for him because every guy I say that I like ends up playing like shit the next week. But I just, I don't understand. Like, I don't know if Mailata's a good right tackle. I don't. I know he's played there before, but I like what I see from him at left tackle. So why change that up? But that's what they're going with. Again, I feel pretty good about tomorrow. I feel better, obviously, than I did against the Chiefs and the Cowboys because, the Panthers offense has had some success. But I think with all the heat on this Eagles defense and Jonathan Gannon, they've got to come out and play their best game. They've got to come out and play their best game. And if they can get to Sam Darnold, and this is the same for every quarterback they're going to face, but if you get to Sam Darnold, you're going to win the football game. And again, the Eagles offense they've been moving the ball. Devontae Smith had a career game in his young career last week. Made some catches I never thought I'd see Eagles wide receivers make. And I'm not used to seeing Eagles wide receivers make. I'm not used to seeing Eagles wide receivers drag their toes. He made that mistake of going out and catching the ball when he came back in. But other than that, he's looked really solid. Reagor, I don't know what the hell's going on with Jalen Reagor. I mean, maybe he's just not the guy. J.J. I think a Whiteside with that penalty in the end zone last week. Why he's still on this football team? Look, I don't get it. He's like a fullback. He's like the wide receiver version of a fullback. He's only in there for blocking, whatever, and he still messed that up. I do like Quez. I think Quez Watkins has gotten better every week and should continue to do so. But my knee is killing me right now from that motorcycle accident. It's killing me when I sit here like this. So, guys, in the comments, let me know what you think your prediction of the score is going to be. I'm going to go with a real pedestrian score of 28-20. Eagles win. Again, I think that they just find a way. I think they find a way. I think the defense is finally going to step up. I think Jalen Hurts is going to struggle a little bit, but overall he's going to make some plays to win the game, especially with his feet. And he's the leading rusher on this team. He is the leading rusher on this team. It's just it's absolutely insane. But that's where we are, guys. And if they can get the win, they'll be 2-3. If they don't, they'll be 1-4. Look, it's been that season. There was no expectations going into this. We knew that this was going to be the type of team that we were going to get. Now we see them blow out the Falcons, and expectations go up a little bit. And then you see the San Francisco game, and man, they could have won that. And expectations are still there. And then you look at the Kansas City game last week, and it's like they were in the game until the fourth quarter. But 5 minutes in, they were in the game. And they had 3 touchdowns taken off the board due to penalties. So Jalen Hurts said in the press conference, I thought this was very impressive. He said, hey, we're this close. We're this close. And then Quez Watkins said something like that yesterday. And I think they all believe that. I think they all really believe that. Now, whether that's true or not, as long as they believe it, that's it. So that should help them out tomorrow as well, guys. I'm going to jump off here. Everybody stay safe out there. Again, if you ride a bike, watch out for these cars. They got me yesterday. First motorcycle accident. And wear your helmet, man. That thing saved me. It saved my life. My helmet did. So, yeah, you take care too. Absolutely. We'll talk tomorrow after the game. Hopefully the Eagles win. Fly, Eagles, fly. Everybody stay safe. Stay healthy. Go Birds. I'll see you later.